Capricorn to Channel Future Tarot. Keeping score is exhausting. Just stop measuring and just love, let it be. I feel like no matter how carefully you're choosing your words this week, Capricorn, it is an intense time for you, and it could come out quite harshly. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs of Capricorn, take the messages that resonate with you, toss to the universe what does not. It's not meant for you, and that's okay. I am going to use a singing bowl. As you can see, we smudged, cleared your energies, taking a deep breath in. That'll help you kind of just calm and prepare yourself for the reading, okay? So let's get started, Capricorn. I feel like I called you Aquarius at the beginning. If I did, I do apologize. I don't know. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. I don't know why that's coming into mind. Anyway, Capricorn. Peace, love, health, and wealth for you, Capricorn. This will be a love reading for the month of April. Take, like I said, what resonates, leave what does not. Could be for in love partnerships, single partnerships, however, love is affecting your energy at this time. What's coming in for Capricorn for April? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs of Capricorn. You know, the happiest couples aren't ones that are keeping tally. So if you guys are sort of measuring who calls the most, who's doing the texting, who initiates this, who does that, then that's where you got to stop that energy. You know, love isn't a competition in that regard. Who's doing more? So that will only create a little bit of resentment, and all of a sudden people are doing things just to one up the other person and not because they actually care or want to do them, right? What's coming in for Capricorn in regard? Whoa. Okay. All right. We have peacefulness, looking for that peaceful energy within yourself. I feel like you recognize that balance, kindness, and love bring calmness to your soul. Absolutely. I feel like there's an energy of dropping the drama. Friendliness as well. You are able to recognize traits in common with another in order to forge love-based connections. I like it. And then we have compassion. You demonstrate the language of the heart by actively sharing and living love. Capricorn, you, as an earth sign, you're grounded, but you're not an energy that necessarily is that sort of, you're very grounded, and you're not necessarily the remote, Mr. Cupid of the bunch, you know what I'm saying? Respect your value, everyone's unique perspective on the path of love, yes you do. And I feel like, not saying that you're cold or aloof, but you're just not necessarily the, Cupid energy. So action, you have the courage to express the unique living colors of your soul. That's on the bottom of the deck. It's coming in for Capricorn in regards to love. Capricorn for love for April 2025. Sun, Moon, Rising. Like somebody's choking on words. I keep hearing choking on words. Somebody could be doing that, like literally, I don't mean literally choking it, like just regretting the words that they said, come back to bite them in the butt. And for Capricorn. Capricorn. Alright. That rekindling is coming out for so many signs. We have respect, again, twice out here for you. So respect could be weighing quite heavily on this relationship. Respect your relationships and each other's perspective in that. Rekindle. Every relationship has magic moments that can be rekindled. This has been coming up repeatedly for many signs. So I feel like we're all sort of maybe looking back and sort of rekindling, a lot of our energies. Enlightenment. With enlightenment, there is no separation. We recognize that we are one with the divine. This could be a real spiritual growth time for you. You've been going through, Capricorn. And in turn, it's kind of left you with a newfound respect for yourself and love and the connections that you were wanting to bring into your life. Signs. Watch out for signs leading you to true love, Capricorn. for those that aren't in it, this is definitely a time when you're starting to really connect to your greatest power and your highest sense of self. And that's helping you sort of look back again at the relationships that you were either in and how they functioned or were dysfunctional, and what you could do to address them, and what your part is in those roles, right? And that's, you know, ultimately how we go forth and become the best version of ourselves, is taking that honest appraisal, you know, of our actions, right? Never easy, and but it's a real time of growth, right? It's a real boss moment, right? Okay. Getting to know each other flew out there. So for some of you, it could be meeting at, you know, you're revealing some innermost selves. No matter how long we've been together, you can always, there's some things you can learn about your partner. And I think we get to a point where we feel like we just know so much, and we don't have any energy in sort of learning about our partner anymore. And that becomes, you know, a sense of rigid and falling behind. Whoa, lots of cards falling out here. Okay, so relationship, give your relationship a chance. Working on your partnership, heart-to-heart conversations. Honestly discuss your feelings with each other. Chemistry, there's a strong magnetic attraction here. Okay, Capricorn. And attraction, again, coming out. So whether you are really just getting to know a new person, taking that, you know, first steps in towards, this is a really energetic positivity card. You got a lot of attraction, you got a lot of getting to know, heart-to-heart conversations, honest conversations. Again, when you're, you know, we want to, it's okay to be authentic, and you know, that's how we build authentic relationships, right? It's coming in for Capricorn in terms of love for April. And sort of when you become vulnerable with your partner, that's when the beyond sex or anything else, that's when the truest connection is created, when there's vulnerability there and there's no judgment passed on the other side. That's when true connection and bond happens, right? It's coming in here for Capricorn. A lot of anxiety coming out throughout the collective as well, I think. And, you know, we just came out of retrograde. And that's, you know, again, we did a lot of revisiting of the past, you know, comes in to teach us some valuable lessons. And we definitely went through that phase. That Page of Pentacles, balancing yourself out, yin and yang here, getting grounded. That is you, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy. So it is positive stuff for you. I feel like you're really trying to get in touch with yourself, practicing meditation, maybe yoga or breath work for you. And that's really going to be quite important as you kind of align with your partner. You have to be the best version of yourself, right? Then we have that Chariot card, Cancer, coming out. Determination to go forward. I like it. Willpower, determination to succeed. You're willing to, I feel like you're willing to put in work here. So I like it for you. I really do. That's a great energy. We have the Queen of Swords in reverse. Cut-a-bitch card. This is that energy of sort of being, you know, in your head a little bit too much. Now, you could be determined to do something, but you're constantly in sort of thought process about it, a little bit guarded in some ways, which is okay. But you're almost in, like sort of, for some of you, expecting something or someone to come at you in some sort of energy. I'm not sure what that's about here. Let's see, we have that Four of Wands coming out in reverse. So maybe not a celebration, maybe that is foundation. So that, you know, your foundation is a little shaky in some way. There was maybe a celebration, a wedding, an anniversary or something that kind of, you know, was a little bit not as glamorous or happy as it could have been. Maybe there was a fight or some sort of energy that happened there at that celebration. The Nine of Cups in reverse, now that isn't a bad energy. It's just saying your wishes, you know, they're right around the corner. The fulfillment of them is possible, but you're going to have to really get out of your head in order for that to happen. That Six of Cups on the bottom of the deck, as well as the Lovers card on the bottom of the deck, 6 Gemini as well. 6 could be quite powerful, and angel number for you. It's not a bad number like many think, as you know, either. Pay attention again, signs. So coming in, can we clarify that Page of Pentacles for Capricorn regarding love? Let's clarify that Page of Pentacles for Capricorn regarding love. That Two of Cups. So you have it balancing within this union here. This is a strong sense of getting connected and having that equal solid ground is what's going to help you build that Two of Cups into a very, prosperous relationship. We have the Chariot. Can we clarify that Chariot for Capricorn, please? Don't allow the energies of the relationships from the past or how the relationships work, the dynamics of them work, to hinder this, okay? Not two relationships are ever going to be the same. The Five of Pentacles coming in, okay? So you're determined to move from poverty mindset, from lack, being sort of feeling that sense of abandonment and worry. That is Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, but it is in reverse. So there's this, I like that it's in reverse because you're moving from that energy. And the Chariot, you're determined. Can I clarify that Queen of Swords in reverse for Capricorn? That Seven of Wands. Yeah, you're on guard. You're definitely, there's people, I feel like you're a sense of being attacked in some ways. This could be a mind, you're perceiving this with the Queen of Swords in reverse, says you're either preparing for this attack in some ways, and you're sort of thinking your strategy out here in one way or another. That's what I mean about careful with the words, because your message gets lost in the heat of the argument here. Can we clarify that Four of Wands in reverse? Oftentimes when we're in an argument with somebody else and it's so heated, nobody's remembering or even listening to what the other person is saying, right? That Four of Cups in reverse, double fours out here for you as well. That is, disappointment, but you're moving from it. So this energy was either that celebration was disappointing in some way or another, and there was a sense of someone's, expectations were not met. Can I clarify that Nine of Cups in reverse? That is Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces energy as well. A lot of water sign energy. The Two of Wands coming out here for you. You do have 2-2 out here, as well as 4-4, as well as 6-6, and 7-7 out here for you. Quite an interesting energy for you this week. Bottom of the deck is that Eight of Pentacles. Determination, hard work is at your craft, and the Sun card on the bottom of the deck is all coming in, underlying energy. It's going to have a little bit of a sort of a sense of, it's been a long growth period, right? This hasn't been won easily, and you know it, and so that makes you appreciate this sense of being grounded that much more, Capricorn. You're manifesting new opportunities here, beginnings in terms of love. And I feel like there's new connections. There's, the exploration stage, a beginner relationship happening. But she holds in her hand a mandala, with a curious heart, and she's sort of, and to begin understanding the manifesting essence that we all hold, right? Remember when you thought you could be an astronaut? Remember that? Go ahead and ground that energy before it dissipates. We activate, practical magic with our hopes, and we pull energy from the earth to bring it forth. So progress happens one life stage at a time, and you have to anchor into the details, right? While kind of simultaneously keeping your head in the clouds to dream, right? That's what's important. So there is pieces that still need to fall into alignment, Capricorn, but that doesn't mean that they aren't going to arrive, right? You're in the perfect place to figure out how to make this relationship work and, and be prosperous, right? So see confidence and dependability, and remember that you hold the power no matter where you are standing today, right? So new perspectives, sort of an upgrade of conscious information is on the way. I feel like you're definitely being practical and realistic here in terms of this love situation, this union. You know exactly what you want and how to bring it forward. With that Two of Cups coming in to clarify it, I think it's great for you because this is a time where you're really starting to see what is, you're creating deep connections and partnerships right here. And with really good shared values, right? And a good moral compass coming from unconditional love on both sides. You see the divine in others, and you're nurturing these new relationships as they are holding something very, powerful for you in the future. And that is probably a love that you have yet, whether it's the same connection or whatever, it's changing. The dynamic has changed. And, victory is coming, determination again. harnessing and uniting opposing opposites energy. And so I feel like you're kind of uniting the two of you that were kind of opposing in some ways before, and it's a great energy. You're charging ahead here full steam. If you're being pulled in two different directions, Capricorn, I feel like know that it is you can sort of coax both energies back towards the same target if you want, right? Charging ahead without paying attention to your path definitely seems harmful to those in your wake. So don't be trampling on anybody to get to that could be what this Five of Pentacles is in regards to. Again, focus on your efforts and move swiftly. And if you aren't sure of your direction, Capricorn, again, it's time to make some plans, set some dreams, goals. But, sit with these energies. Choose who you are becoming here in this connection. And whether you're going to be cold and aloof and sort of, Five of Pentacles here. I feel like be careful with that Five of Pentacles energy, Capricorn, because, somebody's wounded here. It could be your wounded heart. There's a sense of abandonment here. Somebody felt like somebody turned their back to them. And I feel like difficult times are starting to come to an end with that, in reverse. Particularly if you suffered some, hardships in terms of love, but you're finding new sources of happiness and realizing the happiness is always in your pocket at the end of the day. The Queen of Swords in reverse, again, you're getting up in your head here. You're thinking is sort of, I feel like, the battle-proof plan here. You're prepared to literally go to war. And I feel like that's because you've been sort of being poked and sort of provoked for some time, and you've kind of taken it, and you're a little bit done with that. There is sharp and sometimes cold communication that comes from the Queen of Swords in reverse. You have to strive to use your words wisely, refrain from, any mean or sort of emotional indifference. The world's very sensitive these days, and then, oftentimes you're going to hurt someone's feelings, right? So sometimes this, your communication style comes off a little cold or cutting. And if you're having trouble communicating something that's difficult, you can always dip your toe into a cup of empathy and, compassion to help with your delivery. I'm just kidding. But sharp analysis and careful consideration, those are the way you want to approach this. As is being able to sort of clearly connect with others in a way that is easily accepted and understood, right? A clear heart and a clear mind allow you to speak your truth always, and for it to be accepted on the other end, right? So you're doing just that. You're getting clear. And it could be causing a little bit of, you kind of standing up there at your fire, kind of yelling it out, because I feel like right now you're just like, no, I have been pushed too flippin' far, and I am done being pushed, and no more. This is an energy where you're in a viable position for something. You worked hard to get to where you are, but other people want what you have, right? And they're sort of prepared to fight for it. So I feel like you are definitely protecting your partnership and standing up for this dynamic in all costs. You're not going to let anybody come take your person away from you. That Four of Wands, I feel like for some of you this was happening during a celebration. I don't know why that keeps coming to my head, but it does. Capricorn, if there was something that's sort of an energy that exploded at, there was a sense of forgetting the simple things, and getting caught up in some drama here, lack of harmony, very disconnected energy. I feel like you have to love people right back, just as they are, right? And sometimes this, again, could be a marriage or a different occasion, but it's a transition state here. So I feel like you have to relax, release, and allow yourself to integrate all the lessons that you've been working through. Happiness and harmony, are yours, right? Enjoy the vibes that is coming in with this energy. Move out of disappointment. Move out of that sense of believing it's already going to be a miserable, experience. For some of you, you've literally already, wrote this up to another shitty day, and you're definitely withdrawn with this Four of Cups in reverse from your external environments. And you're feeling probably a little bit uninspired, delusion, disappointed. You have to focus on what is inspiring you, what keeps you connected to this person, what makes you, what you were attracted to in the first place. That Nine of Cups in reverse, Capricorn, it is the wish fulfillment card. In reverse is just saying that there's delayed gratification. There's delayed, closure of this energy. You're not appreciating the simple things, here that have got you, right? So This is an auspicious message of prosperity, harmony, and getting what you really want. But what have you been working towards is going to start to come to you. You have to be open and grateful for it, and receiving, and sort of not looking for something bigger, better, or different, right? Two of Wands coming in here again. Someone's looking out there. Eyes are set on that. For some of you, I want to say just keep focused on what's right in front of you and working towards that. You know what you want to manifest, and now you need to work out how. I feel like with this energy, you're exploring the options, you're planning your path ahead before taking action. Again, that was on the bottom of the deck there. And you're letting your intuition and passion guide you as you confirm your next steps in this relationship. Again, stop keeping score, stop overthinking it, just let it be. Let it play out the way it's supposed to be without any sort of control or opposition or sort of, control of how it goes about and when, right? Let that happen on its own accord, right? And stop sort of keeping score in this relationship. It's not about keeping score at the end of the day, right? Until next time, namaste.